Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing a Valentine's Day inspired look using the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. I thought there's no better occasion to pull this out than the day before Valentine's Day, since it is a very rose gold and pink palette. So I decided to use the more metallic shade Buzz and one of the darker shades Blackheart to combine them to make a kind of smoky pink kind of Valentine's Day look. So if you want to find out how I got this look, keep watching. So I've already started off by priming my eyelids using the Urban Decay Primer Potion in Original, and I've filled in my brows using the Laurier Brow Artist Shaper in the shade Blonde. So first of all, I'm going to go in and take Scotch tape, and I'm going to apply it to the back of my hand twice, just to remove some of the stickiness from it, because I'm going to be applying this to my eye. So once I have all the sticky off, I'm going to apply it, lining up with my bottom waterline and going up in an angle towards my eyebrow. Then I'm going to go in using the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette, and on a E40 blending brush from Sigma, I'm going to go in with the shade Limit, and this is going to act as my transition shade. So I'm just going to blend that in a windshield wiper motion back and forth across my crease, and that'll help my next color blend in more smoothly. So then I'm going to go in with the shade Nooner, and then I'm going to apply that directly over top of that transition shade. I am blending it up against the tape as well, just to start carving out that sharp edge that we'll be creating with the tape. Next, I'm going to take a Morphe E17 brush, and I'm going to start patting the shade Blackheart on the outer edge of my eye. So I'm just basically focusing it up against the tape and going no further than the middle of my eye, just to kind of smoke out the edge and create a nice sharp line up against the tape. So I'm just patting that on gently. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to take a MAC 242 shader brush, and I'm starting to apply the shade Buzz, and I am blending that into the shade Blackheart so it creates a nice darkening effect towards the outside, and it blends the two colors seamlessly together. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to remove the tape, which looks a lot more painful than it is. Then I'm going to line my lash line using the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Smoke, and I'm just going to do this on my top part of my eye right up against the lash line. So I'm very carefully creating a line connecting in little pieces just across the eyelid. This prevents me having to pull at my eyelid and tug in order to get a nice straight line. Then we're going to move on from the eyes for a little bit and work on the face. So I am using the Mercier Foundation Primer in the shade Radiance. This is a sample that I had gotten from Sephora, so I was curious about trying it out. Once I've applied that, I'm going to my favorite foundation, and this is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte in the shade Ivory. As usual, I am dotting this all over my face before I go in and blend it out. So I'm just sporadically placing this all over my face, making sure that I hit all the major areas that I want to apply foundation. And then I'm blending it in with something new today. This is the Quo Makeup Blending Sponge, and this is the very first time I'm using it. I'm using this damp to blend in my foundation. I had seen that this was a favorite of another blogger that I follow, Stash Matters, and after I saw it on her blog, I decided to give it a try. Quo is a Canadian brand that you can pick up at Shoppers Drug Mart, and it's only, I think it was only about $6, so definitely worth picking up. I don't know if I'd use it again for my foundation, but as you'll see, I'm going to use it shortly for my concealer, and I really liked using it for that. Then I'm going to go in using the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in the shade Fair Neutral, and I'm going to apply this under my eye, and then I'm going to go in and blend it in with that same Quo blending sponge, and I'm just going to gently pat that in and roll it just to make sure I have it all nice and blended. And I really did like the way that this blended out my concealer. It picked up any excess product, it made sure everything was nice and blended in, and I just felt like my concealer looked better than normal when I did it this way. Then I'm going to go and set everything using the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Translucent Powder, and I'm just using this on a Sonia Kashuk powder brush that I'd gotten in a kit, and I'm just going to speed through this since I'm just going to set everything that I just applied to my face. I'm going to go in and apply my lip balm, and this is the Maybelline Baby Lips Dr. Rescue in the shade Too Cool. It's just a clear lip balm, and it's going to help my lips not dry out. Then we're going to finish up the eyes by taking the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil once again in the shade Smoke and line the waterline on both eyes. And then once I'm done that, I'm going to go back into the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette, and I'm going to take a Sigma E30 brush, and I'm going to just blend the shade Blackheart into that eyeliner that I had just applied. This is going to help smoke it out just a little bit. So I'm just applying just a teeny tiny little amount to my under eye. But before I completely move on from that, I'm going to take that same pencil brush and go into the shade Limit and blend that underneath the black just to kind of soften it just a little bit so it doesn't get too harsh, and that'll kind of help it blend nicely into the skin. Then I'm going to take the L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black Mascara, and this is a new mascara that I've recently purchased, and I'm really enjoying it, so I'm just going to apply that to my top lashes. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to apply the bottom. I've really been enjoying this mascara, mostly because of the brush. It's very tiny. It actually doesn't look like it's going to be that great for the top lashes. You kind of look at it and go, how am I ever going to get volume with this thing? But it actually coats every single lash and adds quite a bit of volume and length to my lashes. I don't know how they did it. I really thought it was going to be basically just good for my bottom lashes. But I'm impressed. I did a blog post about this last week, so if you want more information, I'll link that post down below. So I'm just going to speed through adding one more coat to the top lashes, and then we're done with the mascara. Then we're going to do some light contouring with my very beat up looking Anastasia contour kit in the shade light to medium. So I am taking the shade Fawn, and I'm just taking that on a Morphe G3 brush, and I'm just gently contouring my cheekbones, just to add a little bit of definition there, and make my cheekbones just pop just a little tiny bit. Then I'm going to go in and highlight. Highlight today, I'm using the Becca Champagne Glow palette, and I'm using the shade Pearl, and I'm taking a Morphe M501 brush as usual and just applying that to my cheekbones. I'm also going to use the same highlight on my brow bones as well, and for that I am using a Morphe E14 brush, so I'm just using that to pack it under my brow bone to give a little bit of shine there as well. And since Valentine's Day is a special occasion and we really want to glow, I'm going to take Becca Pearl again, and I'm going to go with my Sigma E30 pencil brush and apply the highlight to my inner corners of my eyes just to add a little bit of extra highlight and make this look even more special. I'm using the Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in the shade Dollface. This is in the Amazonian Power Couple, which I think has been discontinued for quite some time now, but you can buy this blush individually. It's a super pigmented baby pink blush, so I'm tapping that off before I apply it, and I'm trying to blend it in really well. I am going to go in and use a fan brush just to kind of blend everything together and make sure that any leftover pigment is brushed away rather than having super pink intense cheeks. Using a fan brush to blend all my makeup together is really one of my favorite tricks because it makes your cheek products all blend together seamlessly and sweeps up any excess powder so you don't look super powdery. I'm going to finish off the brows using the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper in the shade light to medium just to set the brows and make sure that the penciling that I had done earlier doesn't disappear throughout the day. I really like this brow gel because it just adds a little bit of color and keeps everything in place. Then for lipstick, I am using the Urban Decay Revolution lipstick in the shade Turn On. So this is a nice rosy pink color, and I'm just going to apply that directly onto the lips. By now, the Maybelline balm that I had applied earlier has all soaked into my lips and left them nice and soft to make it much easier to apply the lipstick. So I'm just going to rub that together. And this is the completed look. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please click this thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next time. Bye!